Hey seedlings! Today we are going to be reading my failed 12-step plan to not being a hero by magicalspacepanunicorn. We are going to be reading chapter 3 and 4. Chapter 3, The Sports Festival. Izuku yawns as he waits in the waiting area, quietly debating a plan of action. One that, so far, involves him napping for the first round. Midoriya. He looks up from his thoughts, nodding to Todoroki. I am stronger than you. Objectively, I am, and that is why I will beat you. Works for me. I was just gonna nap the first round. He rests his head in his hand. The only way I wouldn't is if someone carried me to the finish line. Todoroki and Bakugo both glare at him. Izuku ignores it. It's not like they do it. He was wrong. Izuku squirms and hits as Bakugo grabs him by the collar, shooting explosions to fly across the course. Shitty nerd. Izuku glares and tries to reach the blonde's hand. Let me go! This is precious nap time! Is Bakugo carrying Midoriya? Yes, Midoriya was planning to nap, and Bakugo has a rivalry. No doubt he wants to fight in the final battles with him. He was planning to sleep? Have you ever met Midoriya? No, I have not. Anyway, Izuku glares as he's thrown out the end, landing in a roll. God damn it, Kachan! What, nerd? Why did you do that? Bakugo shrugs and walks off. Welcome to the top 3, Deku. He grits his teeth, storming off to a corner of the area. He crouches down, knees to his chest, and sighs, trying to control himself. He'll definitely have to participate in the group thing, which means he's not allowed to half-ass it. Izuku sighs as midnight corrals the students back to the area. The top 42 people will pass to the next round. Midnight will explain. This will be The wheel spins. Cavalry battle. Groups of 2 to 4 will. Izuku tunes out the rest, already looking out in the crowd for someone to work with. He knows everyone will be trying their best, and he doesn't really want to, but he'll be damned if he isn't a good friend. Hey, Mr. 3. He looks up at a purple-haired boy, squints, tilts his head, then smirks. Let's be partners, brainwasher. Now, I'm not aiming to win, but I have to get to the final round or those two assholes. He gestures to the teams Todoroki and Bakugo are forming. Will kill me. We probably only need the 2 of us. What do you say? The purple-haired boy blinks in shock before nodding. Yeah, whatever. So, what's your quirk? Oh, I don't have one. Izuku lifts the boy on his back, grinning. And if you want a shot at the final rounds, disguise your quirk, okay? How do you know what my quirk is? I saw you use it. Izuku shrugs slightly. Todo has the 1 mil, so most people will go after him. We'll take in smaller teams, yeah? How? You can't be that confident, stupid 1A. Hey, temporary 1A. I'm not trying to be a hero. I was forced, okay? And I'd like to leave ASAP. It's all physical strength this and quirk that. Shinso. Midoriya, nice to meet you. Time's up! Everyone in position. Mike, begin the countdown. You got it, Midnight. 3. Todoroki glares at his father. 2. Bakugo smirks, ready to go feral. 1. Izuku sighs and shakes his head slightly. Go! It's chaos as most teams charge for the 1,000,000 points. Quirks activated. Izuku doesn't care about that. No. Instead, he tiptoes around with surprising stealth, snatching a few bands from fighting teams before running off. Shinso clinging to him in terror. Put them on inside out. Shinso nods and does so. Ah, the almighty 1A. Izuku turns to look at Monoma. Are you really so self-absorbed you think you can win with only 2? I'm temporarily in 1A. I was supposed to be in Gen Ed, but no. Bakugo and Yagami transferred. And then fucking USJ happened, and I swear, I'm the only person who reads up on student laws. He sighs, shaking his head in annoyance. So, if you want my spot, Monoma, take it. You just have to beat me in the next round. But let Shinso here win, yeah? He wants to be a hero too. Monoma stares as Izuku runs off, a green and purple blur. Time's up! In first place, Team Todoroki, Team Midoriya. Izuku curses, setting Shinso down. Third, Team Bakugo. And fourth, Team Monoma. Well done, everybody. Izuku pouts slightly, shuffling over to Midnight. Am I allowed to drop out now? No. Rude. Izuku sighs and moves over to stand near the back of the remaining 14 people. Okay, the break is next. He should have time for a nap. Maybe he can convince Lush Runch to add some extra food to his usual meal. He nods to himself, walking off to the cafeteria. One of the first few there with how fast he walks. Lunch rush, can I have some extra? I forgot breakfast again. Lunch rush gasps and begins shoveling food onto a plate. Of course, but you really should remember to eat in the mornings, Midoriya. I know, sorry. He takes the tray, bowing to the hero. Have a nice day. Izuku wanders off, eating as he walks with a smile. Okay, he may not like most heroes, but he does like Lunch Rush. Izuku ends up in an exit from the arena, staring outside at the path and trees. He can't leave. There are heroes, and it's dangerous. But he wishes he could. Midoriya. He turns to see Todoroki and waves slightly. Are you okay? Todoroki seems to fumble with his words for a moment before nodding to himself and looking at Izuku. Is my mother okay? Izuku smiles softly and nods. Yeah, she's watching, you know. She said she couldn't wait to see her little boy and that she hopes he remembered what she said. What she said? About lineage or something? I didn't push. Todoroki nods and looks down slightly. Midoriya, do you think she wants me to use my fire? I know it's his fire and he hurts so I'm sorry, his fire? Can he force it out of your body? 'Cause then we might have to look into supervillain connections. Well, he can't, but... Ah, so it is your fire then. Great. You had me worried. I mean, it's not like you'll ever be him and use your fire like he does. I mean, fire is so useful, and he uses it so recklessly. But you wouldn't do that, would you? Of course not. Good. Izuku smiles and ruffles the boy hair. Did you know fire can sterilize things? And it's good for cauterizing wounds. Oh, and imagine you made a fire sword. You could direct the flames without worry. Todoroki blushes at the touch and nods slightly. It can really be used for such good. Yeah, Todoroki, and I know you'll do what's right. He begins to walk off before stopping. Oh, and I can best up Endeavor if he hurts you here for losing any battles. Just text me and I'll set off the sprinklers. He leaves, the half-and-half boy laughing quietly. Izuku glances at the matchups, nodding to himself. Bakugo will get the fight he wants. That's good. He'll have to beat Mina and Yaoyorozu first, but it won't be too hard. He just needs to be fast, and in Mina's case, careful. He's also glad that both Monoma and Shinso have battles they can win. Well, until they have to go against Todoroki, so he has to get to the semifinals before losing. But Bakugo will know if he's not going all out, so he might have to make it to the finals. Todoroki doesn't know as much about him, so it'll be easier to fool him and lose. Second is better than first, though he wouldn't like to be in the 1v1 battles at all. Welcome back, listeners. For our first battle, we have Monoma versus Shiatsuki, both from 1B. I'ma just skip to the semifinals. Round 1. Monoma vs. Shiozaki. Monoma. Sero vs. Todoroki. Todoroki. Mei vs. Shinso. Shinso. Tetsu vs. Kirishima. Kirishima. How it goes in canon. Ashido vs. Momo. Momo. Midoriya vs. Denki. Midoriya. Bakugo vs. Ida. Bakugo. Round 2. Monoma vs. Todoroki. Todoroki. Shinso vs. Kirishima. Shinso. Momo vs. Midoriya. Midoriya. Shinso glances at his name on the board, trying to hide a smile with a smirk. If they don't accept him into the hero course, then there's something wrong with the school. He beat 2 hero students, and he's about to beat a 3rd. He walks onto the field, looking the half-and-half boy over. He just needs a response. So, what can he say? Begin! Shinso's eyes widen as his feet are immediately covered in ice. That's a bit rude. The boy doesn't respond, stalking closer. Shinso looks around, his eyes landing on Endeavor. Hey, Todoroki, how's your dad? He flies out of the arena, eyes wide and chest in so much pain. Well, that was not the right thing to say, he thinks as he passes out, flat on the grass. Todoroki is the winner and will be advancing to the finals. Chapter 4 is a chocolate. Izuku sighs as he walks out, hands behind his head. He didn't want to be here. He should have lost against Yaoyorozu. But no, he had to make it to the semifinals. You better go all out, fucking Deku. Are you sure? He looks at Midnight, then back at Bakugo. Yes, I'm sure. Are both of you boys ready? They nod, and Midnight calls the match. Bakugo blinks as a green blur appears in front of him, sending him flying across the area. And he's barely able to set off his quirk to catch himself. I warned you. Izuku smirks slightly, charging once more, swinging with practice ease and so much force. And yet, he's so nimble as to dodge or catch everything Bakugo throws at him. Deku! He tilts his head innocently, watching as blood drips from Bakugo's lips. Yes, Kachan? He runs forward again, throwing a punch that lands so hard, he swears he hears a few bones crack as Bakugo is launched out onto the grass. Oops, I went a bit too hard on that last one. Bakugo is out of bounds. Midoriya advances to the next round. Izuku moves to lift his friend onto the stretcher, wincing slightly at the sight of the injuries he's caused. You did ask me to go all out. There will be a small break as we fix the arena and check on the contestants. Izuku sighs in relief at that, moving to find somewhere to rest for however long he has. Midoriya. He turns to see Todoroki, nodding to him. How did you do that? Do what? No one could see anything but a green blur. Oh. Izuku scratches the back of his head. I was just running. Bakugo said to go all out, so... Todoroki nods slightly. I fear I may not win if you go all out. Nah, you'll win. I'll make sure of it. The split boy seems to glare. No, you will fight me fairly. Izuku looks Todoroki up and down before sighing. I didn't even want to get past the first round. Now I'm in the finals. I don't want to win, Todoroki. Fight me fairly, Midoriya. I haven't had anyone worth facing since him. He sighs quietly and nods, recognizing the look in the other's eyes. Fine. Stupid heroes. Welcome back, everyone, to the finals between Todoroki Shoto and Midoriya Izuku, both of 1A. Izuku stretches as he waits for Mike to finish his introduction. Are you both ready? The two competitors nod. You might want to take a step back. He winks at her as the match begins, charging forward at Todoroki's left side, cracking the forming ice. Todoroki turns to attack, hand out to form more ice. Izuku smirks and jumps, suddenly behind the dual user with a sharp jab to his neck. Todoroki didn't fall. That should have knocked you out. Izuku flips back across the field. He really is a shitbag, huh? The boy nods slightly, hand out for more ice. He charges again, flying for the right this time, tiptoeing around ice attacks. You'd have a higher chance if you use your fire. I'm going all out, so you should too. It's not that easy. Izuku rolls his eyes slightly. A small flame right now could cause an explosion with how cold it is. Izuku rolls his shoulders. Todoroki tilts his head and moves to test his idea, but Izuku doesn't let him. Suddenly, in front and roundhouse kicking him out of the arena. Ah, fuck! He walks off, arms crossed and pouting. He's glad he packed snacks. Lots and lots of snacks. And here comes our winners! Todoroki climbs onto his second place pole, while Bakugo and Shinso share the third place one, the latter grinning like a madman. Izuku looks at the podium, nods to himself, hops up onto his, then proceeds to sit down and begin eating the snacks he brought. Midoriya? Midnight looks at him. The medals? Are they chocolate? Izuku speaks through the food. No, they're not chocolate. Then I don't care. He swings his legs, humming to himself. And now for the medals. I am here to present the next generation with medals. The crowd screams, all reaching to take pictures of the number one pro as Izuku glares at him slightly. The hero moves to the third place podium. Shinso, you have done well despite your setbacks. The boy nods as the medal is placed on him. Bakugo, you have yet to control your anger, but I see a true hero in you. Another medal, and they both thank him. Todoroki, you have come far. I have no doubt you will be a wonderful hero. Thank you, All Might. Todoroki's eyes are beaming, even though his body is stoic. Midoriya. The hero sighs as the sight of the relaxed boy. I do not understand you. Izuku shrugs and nods. Most people don't. I can't wait for the day you become the number one pro hero. He splutters and coughs out his food as the medal is placed on him, choking a little. Nuh-uh. But the hero is gone, performing for the press. Shit. I hope you enjoyed that. I love this fic. It's super fun. I love how Izuku is portrayed and how he just doesn't care. It's amazing. Bye.